Hi, welcome to this weekend edition. We are going to go from through all the FNO stocks and इस बार हम लोग देखेंगे कि नेक्स्ट वीक में हम लोग कौन कौन से स्टॉक्स में हम अपनी फोकस बनाएंगे. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ ए में हम देख सकते हैं कि ABFRL gave a strong closing together with ACC. हमने ये बहुत पहले से ही सिलेक्ट किया था. ये भी बहुत अच्छी एक मूव दी है. Adani Enterprise is also going for a very nice consolidation. If you are in Adani, then I think you should be tracking this. Ambuja Cement हमने 3-4 सेशंस पहले लास्ट वीक हम लोग डिस्कस किया था, and from 420 it's now going towards 440. Going forward, it may have more momentum, and maybe 430, 440 is a good sort of a resistance. 440, 445. Other than that, APL Limited gave a good close, and let's last week because we were at 750. So let's see if it is able to cross the levels of 800. Apollo Hospital is really good, and this is consolidating, and I think going forward the levels of 500 is not far from our final target. Ashok Leyland 120 is important. इसके नीचे अगर closing आई तो it will be weak. Asian Paints is also going forward for the levels of 3400. Going forward 3200 would be an interesting place. Astral is also consolidating at 2100. AU Bank facing resistance 1200 levels पे. So there's not much happening with A. AXISBANK is also dancing at 800, and going forward it should be जब तक वो 800 levels को maintain करती है, there should be more up momentum. Bajaj Auto is making higher lows, and going forward ये अगर 3800 के ऊपर closing देती है, especially 3830 levels के ऊपर, then this would be of interest to me. Other than that, of course, Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance, very good structure compared to Bajaj Finserv. ये हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था. आफ्टर दिस पर्टिकुलर कैंडल वी टोल्ड दैट वी शुड बी स्टिकिंग विथ बजाज फाइनेंस बिकॉज इट वाज एबल टू होल्ड दिस लेवल, एंड यू कैन सी द रिटर्न दैट बजाज फाइनेंस हैज़ गिवन. बालाकृष्ण इंडस्ट्रीज इसमें भी हम लोग बुलिश हैं. गोइंग फॉरवर्ड वी कैन सी न्यू हाइज इन बालाकृष्ण इंडस्ट्रीज, so this is definitely there. Bata India is also something which is able to consolidate at 1800 levels जब तक ये 1750 के नीचे नहीं आती है. So there is still scope for Bata India to make new all-time highs and then move towards the levels of 2000 in the short term. BEL, it seems like there was a lot of buying interest in BEL, and right now it's nearing 200 levels, so this will be also interesting to see. 200 is a very good psychological levels. हमारा 190 target था, and this has already been met, and we are out of the trade. So last दिन हमने कोई trade नहीं लिया, though it moved some 5%. So it is something which is good, going good. Bharat Forge, it seems like it's getting some resistance at 800 levels. Let's see if it is able to hold the levels of 750. That would be of interest to us. Bharti Airtel भी 650 के ऊपर जब तक है, there is nothing to worry. BPCL is also trying to consolidate. Let's see if it is able to hold the levels of 55. Going forward, अगर ये 52, 53 के नीचे आ गई, so there will be more weakness. Until and unless that happens, I think BPCL should be able to go towards the levels of 60 in short term. Biocon also, we are in Biocon conference 340 levels when we entered on this particular day, and then it went towards 350 in the next day, and then you can see it's right now trading at 365 levels. Going forward, I think it would be able to at least go towards the levels of 390. So but that might take some time. Bosch Limited also gave a good move. BPCL is also moving good. Britannia, of course, a very good structure, high silos, और ये structure can be comparable to Emphasis. So once we are in Emphasis, we will discuss. I think going forward there is more strength left in Britannia. Now with C we have Canara Bank. जब तक 163 के ऊपर नहीं जाती है, I won't be interested. Cholafin also faced resistance at 600 levels, exactly at 699, and from there it's down. Let's see if it is able to maintain the levels of 550. Cipla is also making a higher highs and higher lows. This is a good structure, so going forward again it can reverse, and so right now it's very interesting to see what comes out of in Cipla. Coal India is also dancing at 140. There's not much of a structure to trade. Coforge is also trying to maintain these levels, and as long as 5000 के नीचे closing नहीं आती है, there's nothing more to worry. Coalpal was able to close above 1700, and that was where we are tracking, and from there it went towards 750. I think going forward it is definitely going for it is actually from a technical perspective, या अपनी जो टारगेट होती है वो 1750 की थी, वो अचीव कर चुकी है. Let's see if it is able to move forward from 1750. Concord भी हमने डिस्कस किया था. The reason we don't want to enter Concord is because it's a PSU company, but other than that it seems like the structure is getting weaker. अगर ये 700 के आसपास आई, then it would actually mean that the structure is weaker. The more it's able to hold the levels of 720, the more are the chances of it making blasting the 750. Coromandel is also trying to take some support at 800. City Union Bank, this structure is getting weaker. I think अगर ये 150 के नीचे closing दी, there will be more weakness again. Guinness India made an all-time high, and now I think going forward it will just consolidate, and with this we end C and now start with D. There is not much of a trade. Divi's Lab बहुत अच्छी एक structure है, and this should be in our focus. Other than that, Dr. Reddy I think also is going to face some resistance at these levels, and let's see if it is able to hold the levels of 4800. In E we have interesting structure, Exide Industry. That's definitely अगर ये 200 के ऊपर closing देती है, that would be very interesting for us to track. Other than that, Escorts is able to Escorts अगर 1300 levels को hold कर पाई, so that would be good, and especially 1350 levels के ऊपर it will have more strength. With FNG we have Federal Bank. This is actually in a box. There's not much, and with GAIL 150 के जितने करीब आती है उसको रेजिस्टेंस आ रही है, and Glenmark is also facing resistance. GMR Infra, good consolidation happening. जब तक ये 30 के नीचे closing नहीं देती है, there's nothing to worry, and maybe it will go towards 32 plus levels in a very short term अगर ये 30 levels को maintain कर पाई. Similarly, Godrej Consumer Products is making higher highs, higher lows, new 52-week highs. Definitely, this is something of an interesting structure for us. Godrej Properties is facing resistance at 1600 levels. 1600 के ऊपर closing आएगी तो there will be more strength. Similarly, Granules we were targeting for 350 and above closing. That didn't happen. Grasim was able to hold the levels of 1500. So let's see what comes of it. Gujarat Gas very near 700, and it closed at 700. अगर ये 700 को breach करती है, there will be more downside towards the levels of 650 in the short term. With this we end G, and with H we have Havels making new highs, and Havels or Siemens was in our tracker since last week. We have had trades both on intraday as well as positional, and both of them moved really good. It gave a strong closing, and I think going forward it will be still able to give us the levels of 1600 in short to medium term, and that's absolutely possible. HCL Tech जब तक 1150 के नीचे closing नहीं आती, there's nothing to worry, and till then it will be in this particular 1200 and 1150. HDFC is also facing some resistance at 2800. Maybe tomorrow would be a day to track HDFC if it is able to break 2800 levels. HDFC AMC went towards 3200, which was our target for short term. We entered on this particular day as BTST, and from there you can see in the next 5-6 sessions it was able to move from 3000 to 3200 levels. Similarly, HDFC Bank के लिए 1600 is important. If it's able to close above it, there will be more strength. HDFC Life, this is a bearish structure, so अगर ये 720 के नीचे अगर आ गई तो there definitely will be more downslide, but going forward this structure itself is weak as long as it's not able to close above 750. Hero Motor also is looking sort of 2800 means की resistance है. It was just closed at 2800. Let's see how it moves in the next week. Hindalco is a sort of ये candle को छोड़ के it's sort of good as long as 450 levels are maintained. Similarly, Hind Petro is also able to give us a good move towards the levels of 280. From a technical perspective, the levels of 275 was a target and it's already reached. So let's see how it moves from here. Hindustan Unilever, very good structure. You can see since so many days it has been making high highs, high lows, and going forward I think this is also one of the structures, especially above 2820 levels. It would be a blast, and theoretically it can go towards the levels of 3000. With this VA and H, and let's go with ICICI Bank, a very good consolidation. ICICI GI, very good consolidation. जब तक ये 1600 के levels के नीचे closing नहीं देती है, there's nothing to worry, and I think going forward it can make an all-time high in the next week, maybe within Tuesday. Similarly, we have ICICI Prudential Life. It's facing a resistance at 700 and it closed below 700. IDFC First Bank is also in a box. IGL moved really good, and I think going forward it is possible for it to move towards the target of 570, 575. So right now it's trading at 558. So this would also be in our radar. Indian Hotel is this is sort of a bearish structure. I think this size of this candle I don't like it, but going forward if it is able to close above 150, we can expect more strength for in Indian Hotel. Indigo, high highs, high lows, very good structure, making new all-time highs every day, and I think going forward there is more strength, especially from a technical perspective. I think the 950 which was achieved is maybe a technical support level which was met over here in the last session. So let's see if it's able to go past 2000. IndusInd Bank continuously facing resistance at 1020 levels. जब तक ये 1050 के नीचे है, this thing will continue. 1050 के ऊपर closing में there will be more strength. Similarly, we can see there's not much. Infi is in a box 1700 or 1670 and 1750 के बीच में 80 पॉइंट की इस बॉक्स में है. Together with that, we have IOC is also making highs, and so we were tracking IOC when it was able to close above 110, and from there you can see it went towards 113.5, and I think going forward it might be able to move towards 115 in the short term. CTC हमने यहाँ पे enter किया था when it was able to close above 2800, and right now it went towards 29 near about 2900. Going forward from a technical perspective, I think 3000 is very much attainable, or ये हो भी सकती है in the very short term. Provided this is the split which is going to come, especially that would be an interesting thing after split, how the stock actually behaves. From ITC perspective also it's in a box, nothing much. Jindal Steel, it has a resistance at 400. JSW Steel is also dancing, and together with that we have Jubilant Food making high highs, high lows, and let's see if it is able to close above 4200. From a technical perspective, I think 4300 should be achievable in this short term. In K&L, we have Kotak Bank. 1826 is the important level in Kotak Bank. Try to see if it is able to close above it. Then there is huge strength, and it will drive it towards the levels of 1950 in the short term. In L also, this L&T Finance Housing, a nice consolidation happening. Lalpath Lab sort of seems weak, but if it is able to hold the levels of 4000, maybe it can go higher, but I don't like the size of the candles at this particular range. I would have preferred candles like this, the body, and so theoretically L&T is a very good structure. Together with that, LTI is also a very good structure. LTTS we entered when we already had a plan when to enter when the closing above 4000 happens, and we were able to get a 10% move towards 4400 in just in just one session. Lupin, this is a very typical weak structure. और अगर लुपिन 960 को breach करती है, then there will be more downfall coming in the next few days. With we have M&M trying to take a support at 750. Let's see if it is able to do that and try to reverse. From a technical and trading perspective, just like 800 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, there's not much of an interest, and you can see in multiple sessions it has not been able to do that. M&M Finance looking good, very good consolidation happening from 160 levels, and maybe going forward there is more strength. Manappuram is in a box, 170, 160. There's nothing much we can do. Marico also, we've experienced an all-time high, and it did, and now it's again entering into a consolidation phase. Maruti जब तक 7000 के नीचे है, there is not much of a trading opportunity on the long side. McDougal's main new 52-week high, but again it kept on facing a resistance at higher levels, and this is actually looking not good. And I think it's because of the size of these candles which happened. So though the price was able to move 50 points, but still you can see there was always a resistance which it kept on facing at higher levels. Metropolis also, we were expecting 3000 levels. Let's see, because it was able to hold and close above 2800. So from a technical perspective, at least 2950 is seems achievable. And MFSL this is one of the stocks which is in my radar. It has been facing a lot of resistance lately in 1100 levels, so it is giving us a very good nice trading opportunity where we buy below 1100 and we sell at 1100. The moment it will be able to close above 1100, we can expect a very good move towards the levels of 1180 at least, which would be all-time high. Other than that, MGL is also looking good. If it is this size of this candle I don't like, but still it has strength as long as 1150 below closing doesn't happen. Mindtree, very beautiful structure. This is consolidating. Motherson Sumi is nice structure, consolidating. Yeah, as soon as it would be able to break the levels of 225, I think there will be a nice momentum which will take it towards the levels of 245 in the short term from a technical perspective. Muthoot Finance, it was nice consolidating, and now this structure looks weak, and though it was able to close above 1500, but let's see, until and unless it won't be able to take out 1530, this is not one of our traders which I would be tracking. Similarly, MRF also is looking good for after consolidating. I think maybe MRF is also slated to go for higher highs in the next Monday or Tuesday. Emphasis, this is also a very good structure. So any closing above 3000 would actually automatically make it fly towards say 200 in no time, so it should be in your radar. With this V&M, and with N, we have Nam India, a very good company, and I am actually tracking closing above 420 430 region. This is already very much near its all-time highs. NAVINFLUOR, very good consolidating structure, and also this is true for Nestle. Though between Navin and Nestle, I would prefer the structure of NAVINFLUOR, which has more potential of making new all-time high. From a technical perspective, I think the levels of 4400 is definitely going to come in the short term. Similarly, Naukri is also able to maintain these levels. NATIONALUM gave closing above 90 and it went towards 95. I think going forward there can be more strength, and from a logical perspective, I think the levels of 100 are definitely in the vicinity. Nothing much with NMDC and NTPC. These are all trading in a box. So with the ATPC, NMDC, we said 160 above closing is something which will be tracking. Similarly, we said NTPC was 115 above closing. So this is already done. Let's see if it is able to now cross the levels of 120. With this we end N, and with O we have ONGC, very good structure, and I think going forward our final target was 125, it went towards 123.05, and going forward I think अगर ये structure अगर इस तरह से maintain होने लगी तो I think the levels of 129 130 is definitely in the vicinity. So with P we have Page Industries, very good closing at the end of the day. Together with that PEL, we are tracking this company because technically this looks it's making high highs, high lows, and I think going forward अगर ये 2700 के ऊपर closing देती है, so that will actually make it fly towards 2950 levels. So that's actually looking good. Petronet is one of the trades we took. We are actively tracking Petronet, and definitely अगर ये 230 levels के ऊपर अगर ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट कर दी है, and if it's able to give a closing, that will be a breakout from these levels, and from a target perspective we can expect a move towards say 235 definitely in intraday session if it is able to hold the levels of 230. BFC 130 is the resistance, is in a box. Pfizer 6000, nice closing. Let's see if it is able to continue, and maybe it will form a structure which would be very similar to what we see in Hindustan Unilever. Pidilite is also one of the companies we are actively tracking. I think going forward there are more scopes. I didn't like this particular structure, but even if we overlook this, let's see how it is able to hold the levels of 2300. That would be of interest to us. PI Industries is also a very interesting pattern. It's been making high highs, high lows. Going forward, this gave a good closing, all-time high closing, and so I think going forward there is more strength from a technical perspective. I think it is actually bound for 3600 and beyond. PNB is also facing resistance, so it's actually, these are all box trades, so you have to just wait for range breakout and then only we can take. Power grid is also getting weaker. These 180 के ऊपर अगर closing जल्दी नहीं देती है, so there will be more weakness creeping in power grid. And PVR, very nice, consolidating. Let's see, it's a still weak structure, और अगर 1300 के below closing आती है, so it can be detrimental for PVR. With this VNP, with R, we have Ramco Cement, which we have been tracking since it was able to close above 1000 levels, and it was able to get a confirmation, and then it went towards 1050. I think going forward, let's see if it is able to break past 1050 levels. RBL Bank, nothing much. REC, ये हमने डिस्कस किया था लास्ट 3-4 days में, and from we were tracking 150 above closing, and from there it's inching towards levels of 160, which I think should be very much be attainable in the very near future. Reliance, very strong. It seems there are a lot of positions getting added, और अगर ये 2400 की वो breach करती है, we would be adding more, and then our targets would be much higher, and near 2600 definitely from a technical perspective. With S, we have SAIL. SAIL is dancing between 120 and 125. Let's see if it is able to breach this 125 levels, then it might show some strength, and if it is unable to close below 120, if it closes below 120, there will be more weakness creeping in SAIL. And with this SBI Life is also in a very good consolidating phase, so maybe going forward it will be making a new all-time highs, and this should definitely be one of the stocks which should be in your radar. And similarly you can see State Bank of India, very nice consolidation happening. 433 is important level, agar ye breach karti hai, so there can be more strength in SBN, that's State Bank of India. Sri Cement is also at all-time highs. Siemens getting weaker, and अगर ये 2300, this actually structure is getting weaker. अगर ये 2350 के नीचे closing देती है, there can be more weakness. I would definitely suggest to stay away from Siemens for now. SRF, very good structure, all-time highs, and it is moving towards higher levels. Shriram Transport Finance, this is a particular bearish structure. अगर ये फिर 1320 के नीचे अगर ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट कर दी, and if it gives a closing below 1300, there can be more weakness in Shriram Transport Finance. Star, nice consolidation, 600 levels के ऊपर क्लोजिंग देने की कोशिश कर रही है. हमने इसको 615 620 का हमारा टारगेट था, which was attainable. We entered over here at 600, and from there our target was 620 from a technical perspective, which was attainable. And now let's see how it moves. Sun Pharma facing resistance at 800, nice consolidation. एक close up अगर 800 के ऊपर आती है, this would actually take it towards the levels of 750 in no time. So keep Sun Pharma in your radar. Other than that, Sun TV, nothing interesting, weak structure, and maybe अगर ये this levels of 470 अगर breach करती है, there can be more weakness. So stay away from these counters if you are interested in making long positions. Tata came 850 above closing is required. With T we have Tata Chem, Tata Consumer, very interesting, very good pattern going forward. It's going towards 900 levels. Tata Motors is also जब तक 300 और 306 के ऊपर closing नहीं आती, we won't be interested. Tata Power, this is sort of indecisiveness in the market, and it's a very near to, it's a 52-week high of 137. Going forward, I think we would be tracking, and till now the structure looks good. It's making high highs, high lows. This is actually a bullish structure, and let's see how this moves. From a technical perspective, I think 135 is a good target, and maybe 138. So for now, of course, it can go towards much higher targets in the coming weeks, but I'm talking about if just immediately agar hum dekhen, 138 is a good target, and then we can see how it moves from there. Tata Steel is also holding this level of 1400 1450 जब तक ये decisive एक अच्छी candle एक बनाती नहीं है, we won't be interested. Torrent Pharma हमारा 3200 target था, which was achieved in the last day, and let's see if it is able to move past 3200. Titan also, you can see it's a very nice structure. 1800 में consolidate कर करके, and now within 3-4 sessions ये 2000 आ गई है. I think going forward 2200 is coming. Keep Titan in your radar. Tech Mahindra 1450 के ऊपर closing आएगी. A candle like this, I will definitely enter. This is a very bullish structure. I think though there can be some sort of short-term variations, but still you have a 1450 के ऊपर closing is important. TCS, a very good structure. From 350 it is now inching towards 4000. So these are definitely the stocks. If you don't want to long, don't long, but definitely don't be stupid enough to short them at these levels. Similar, even if the weakness comes, you see a weakness came, this is a bearish structure engulfing cloud, and then you can see in the next day all your shorts were taken out. So these are very good structures, and especially इसमें अगर from जब तक ये 3600 3700 levels को अगर hold कर पाई, there is more strength going to come in. Torrent Power, very good structure. अगर ये 500 के ऊपर closing देती है, don't be a fool and just be in the trend, and this will going to give you a very good trading opportunity. Trend is also a very good structure, very good consolidation. I think a trend within a day or two is going to give a breakout. Be prepared for it for 1100 levels and plus in the definitely in the short term. Right now it's just dancing at 1000 levels. TVS Motor, it seems like 550 or 500 के बॉक्स में है. जब तक 550 के ऊपर एक very good decisive close नहीं देती है, we won't be interested. And thus we come to the very last few scripts. United Breweries, very good structure. Actually अगर हम McDowell से compare करें, I think from a structural perspective UBL is looking good, because this is nice consolidation. 1600 के ऊपर closing आएगी तो definitely this will take UBL to 1800 levels. Ultrachem, we were in the trade, and last week I made a video about 3 particular stocks I was interested in. One was Hindalco, another was Ultrachem, and the third was Divi's Lab. All the 3 made all-time high or 52-week high. So that was a very interesting trade. UBL 750, these are actually weak structures. Don't fall for this, go for these companies. If there's strength in the market, these are going to reward you handsomely, and especially for Ultrachem we can see a levels of 8500. Similarly Vedanta is moving because of the dividend, but I think this is a very stupid move if you are entering for dividend, because the moment it will break the levels of 290, there will be a drastic fall. Voltas, very good up move came, or actually we created a video on maybe on this particular day, on which during trading hours, where we said exactly on this particular day, और इसमें हमारा target 1100 का था, and this was achieved in the very next day. We got a very good 5% move, and I think going forward it will consolidate, and any closing above 1100, be smart enough to enter that and try to ride the train. Wipro 660 appears to be a good target. So you can see nice cup and handle formation from 640. It's now inching towards 660. Zeal is a very weak structure. It's in a box. Don't waste your money on this. Try to be with the leader and try to make some money. So with this, we end this edition. Hope you were able to find a very good name of the companies. There are a lot of important consolidation phases going on throughout the market. Be smart enough and try to be with the leaders which are very near to his all-time high. This is definitely going to give you a very good return in the very short term. Thanks a lot for listening. Just like in Divi's lab, we entered when 5000 was breached, and then from there you can see it went towards 5250 levels, and it's now very nicely consolidating. Going forward, I think there will be more strength. So try to be with these companies which I have already discussed, and hope you would be able to make some money. Thanks a lot for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.